But if we go on to, what's the next subject? Oh yeah, we're going to talk about BluePoint Games shutting down. Now, I did do a video on this, BluePoint Games shutting down, but I never released it. And I thought, considering there's been some news lately with a Bloodborne remake, I thought, okay, this is a good time to talk about this. So Sony has shut down, or is shutting down, BluePoint Games. The studio was known for the Shadow Colossus remake, Demon Souls, and many more. You can see like the Shadow Colossus, they've done Demon Souls, the Uncharted Collection HD, they've done the God of War games remastered, and then I think they've done the Metal Gear games as well, like Volume 1 or whatever it was. But you know, that they did remaster or remake a lot of good games, and it was only from my knowledge as well, from when I had done the research for this for the video, it was only a studio of about 70 people. 70 people is not a lot. It's quite a small studio. So Sony, if they really wanted to, they could have downsized the studio to maybe about 50, 40 people. If they, you know, they probably, if they wanted to get rid of them, they shouldn't have got rid of them. They maybe should have downsized them to about maybe 50, 40 people, which I know it's still people losing their jobs, so it's not everyone losing their jobs. And the thing is, they could have just had BluePoint Games keep making classics. They could have made the original God of War trilogy, which I know is being made, but they could have done the God of War trilogy. They could have done Bloodborne. They could have done the Resistant games. They could have done so many classic games from the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 era, and you know, some like the early PlayStation 4 games. They could have just been an infinite cash cow for Sony, because they could have just took loads and loads of beloved games and just keep on remaking and remastering them. And it's a shame they're shutting down, but this is big news. BluePoint Games pitched a remake of Bloodborne last year. There was almost a remake of Bloodborne. Sony said yes. Sony said yes. From Software, they said no. So all of this time, for all these years, everyone's been, you know, saying, why don't Sony like Bloodborne? Oh, Sony has something against Bloodborne. Why won't they remake it? According to this, Sony said yeah, go ahead. From Software, however, said no. So it was actually From Software who stopped us from getting a Bloodborne remake. Why? I don't know. But I think, do Sony own From Software now? I think, well, if Sony owns From Software now, or if they've bought the majority of it or whatever, hopefully maybe we will get a hopefully we in the next couple of years we will get a Bloodborne remake. But I can't believe that. Bloodborne is such a good game. I've not finished it. I got about halfway through. I got towards the end of it. But I've watched loads of people play it, and it is a good game. I do like it. It was like it was the first like Souls game I played, and people been crying out for a remake or like a remaster or like a 60 FPS update for years, and it'd be such a big cash grab for Sony and From Software if they'd done it. But apparently From Software were the ones who said no, so it wasn't Sony. So all these years people been criticising Sony on why you're not going to do it, it was actually From Software who said no, which is interesting. Bloodborne remake is probably never going to happen as Sony closes the studio behind Demon Souls remake. And this is a thing, the Demon Souls remake was a good game. It was, I think it was a launch title on the PlayStation. It was a launch game on PlayStation 5, and they done a good job of it. I think Metacritic gave it like an 81 out of 100, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So I don't know why they'd closed BluePoint games. They could have made so many more great classic games, and they probably would have been the best ones to make a Bloodborne remake. And the fact that BluePoint Games is shutting down, or has shut down by now, and From Software was the one to say no, don't remake it, the chances are of a Bloodborne remake or a Bloodborne update, like 60 FPS update or a remaster, is like 1% chance out of 100, because I just don't know who else they're going to find to do it. But yeah, it's a shame. BluePoint Games was a good studio. They did make good games. They did make good remasters, like the Shadow of Colossus game they remade was good. But unfortunately, it looks like Bloodborne is still going to just be a PlayStation 4 game.